This is episode 8 and the last episode in my Summer Headspace series. So this is a chance to revisit episodes from the previous school year during the summer months when you might have a little extra time. Beginning next Monday, August 22nd, you will see new episodes with exciting new topics every Monday. But for today, we're going to take a look back at episodes 25 and 36. These are the two Teacher Toolbox episodes that I did where I talk about low to no prep activities that you can do in your classroom. Useful and effective ideas for any language at any level. So let's jump in. Are you a language teacher looking for some reassurance that what you're doing in the classroom is on the right track? Or maybe you're looking for some ways to teach even more effectively. If you're one or the other or somewhere in between, you've landed in the right place. This is the World Language Classroom Podcast with your host, me, Joshua Cabral. You're about to get tips, tools, and resources so that your students continue to rise in proficiency and communicate with confidence. Let's jump in. Vamos, allons-y. Hello, my friends. Bonjour, mes amis. Hola, mis amigos. Welcome to the World Language Classroom Podcast. I am Joshua Cabral, and thank you, as always, for taking the time out of your week to listen to the podcast and to maybe get some ideas for your classroom, be reassured that everything is going just as you would like, all of that great stuff. So thank you very, very much for giving me the opportunity to collaborate with you on a weekly basis. So as you heard in the intro, this is the last of the Summer Headspace series. So starting next week, you're going to get all new episodes, and I've already done a lot of interviews, and I'm going to say next week on the podcast some of the topics that we'll be covering throughout the year, and some of the people that I will be speaking with, and some of the topics that I will be taking on personally. So you can look for that for next week. But for right now, I want to look back at episodes 25 and 36. So if you happen to listen to the podcast throughout the year, you may have heard the two Teacher Toolbox episodes that I did. So these were episodes where I gave you activities that you can do in your classroom, some suggestions for different things that you can do for any language, any topic, any level. And I always like when they're little to no prep at all that you can pull out at any time. So even if you did listen to them, you can listen back. Maybe, we're at the beginning of the school year now, so you might be invigorated to try something new, something you heard about and told yourself, oh yeah, I was going to try that. So in episode 25, I began by addressing the whole why and how we do games and activities. Why do them in the classroom? And I give you some background on why they are, in fact, a useful teaching and learning tool. They're particularly useful when engaging and motivating some of those unwilling or maybe disinterested students. And so also they do provide opportunities to practice speaking and writing and listening, all those other modes, and understanding the target language, whether that is listening or reading. So games and activities aren't necessarily always just the one-on-one small group interactive stuff. So you'll hear lots of activity possibilities that you can do in your classroom to engage in all the different modes. And so by playing in or with the language, we are building confidence. And so I give some ideas for that along with brain breaks and how to keep students interested and focused so you can get them back on track. And also, games and activities provide a relaxed context for risk-taking and lowering what we call the affective filter. So when students feel like they're playing and engaging with the language, it doesn't feel like that academic part. And that's also going to help to build community in the classroom. So in episode 25, I also talk about how to do these activities that are little to no prep that you can pull out at any time, that are easily adapted to pretty much any proficiency level of the class. And so in that episode 25, I specifically speak about the game or activity I call Jump, and then Let's Go, and there's a digital version of that, and cards with the secret card, and then the wraparound. So listen to the episode to hear about all of those different activities, because you will also see I have blog posts for some of them, and the links are in the show notes for those episodes if you'd like to get some of the visual. And then in the second Teacher Toolbox episode, which was 36, I give you a few more suggestions for games and activities for your Teacher Toolbox. And those include who is our guest, what is it, and where are we, which is part of a Bitmoji classroom, who has it, chat stations, and then Zut and Caramba possibilities. So again, you can hear about how to do all of those activities, low to no prep, in those episodes, and when I have blog posts for them, you can also find the links to those blog posts in the show notes for those episodes. So in the show notes for this episode, you'll see the links to both episodes 25 and 36, so you can listen to them right here. And there are also links to get in touch with me if you'd like to work together either in person in your school or remotely during the upcoming school year. So look for new episodes of the World Language Classroom podcast beginning next Monday, August 22nd. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. You've been listening to the World Language Classroom podcast. Be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening so you don't miss a single episode. Let's continue the conversation on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at WL Classroom. You can also see over 250 blog posts about language teaching at, you guessed it, WLClassroom.com.